Hi, so this is for discussion of week 10. Identify 3 overlooked industrial injuries and how the employee may have been injured and why this injury may go overlooked. Well, the first one I picked was sprains and muscle strain, such as back pain for sitting in an uncomfortable chair, not standing or moving frequently, or doing some heavy lifting without using the legs or help from a partner. These injuries may go overlooked because a person may feel that a sore back or legs is not that big of a deal and therefore won't report it. They may think, oh, the pain will go away in a little while, so why bother? Okay, number 2, slips, trips, and falls. These can happen if there's liquid on the ground or the wrong kind of shoes are being worn. If there are boxes or other hazards on the floor, they can cause trips. Falls can happen by using other items such as a chair rather than a ladder or a step stool. And the injuries from these kinds of accidents, the slips, trips, and falls, may go overlooked because a person who has been who was being careless, not looking where they were going, or maybe they were running, or they were looking at their phone, or they were using another object to climb on, might be too embarrassed to report it. Okay, and the third one, I chose a work-related stress or mental strain, and this can happen because of a heavy workload, deadlines, demanding customers or bosses, not taking your breaks, things like that. And these types of injuries can lead to anxiety, burnout, and depression, even resentment, and it can boil over to rage or even workplace violence. This injury may go overlooked because there's still kind of a stigma surrounding mental health and getting help for it. And society tells us, to deal with it or get over it kind of mentality. And the second part of the question is, so based on these overlooked industrial injuries identified as a HR organizational leader, how would I try to minimize these injuries for team members in the organization? Well, to prevent the strains and the sprains and the muscle strains, I would make sure that there were pictures on display showing the correct way to lift heavy items. I'd also encourage employees to get out of their chairs for a few minutes each hour, and walk around, stretch a bit, and also ask if their chairs and their workstations were comfortable to work at, and if not, then maybe we'd have to look into getting new chairs or some ergonomic items to make work more comfortable. So to prevent slips, trips, and falls, if the work area is prone to getting wet, I would make it mandatory for employees to wear slip-resistant shoes. Otherwise, if that's not the case and there happens to be a wet spot on the floor, the employee should stand next to it and prevent other people from going through it, and alert another worker to go get the wet floor sign and then mop it up. I'd also have ladder safety training and remind employees that nothing that could create a tripping hazard should be on the floor, such as, remove any boxes or any obvious trash or anything that could create a slip, trip, or fall. And then finally, to reduce stress, I would make the employees aware of the company's employee assistance program, which includes counseling if needed. I'd also ensure that everyone is taking their breaks and their lunches. Finally, I would like to have at least one day out of the month for them to do either a fun activity or maybe a group lunch like a pizza party, something to relieve some stress. Thank you.